Hello again. Today I'm going to run you guys through my gear choices for my PCT Thru hike this year. You may notice that the child is not with me today. He decided that YouTube was not going to be his thing, but I on the other hand really like making these videos and like interacting with you guys. So we're going to run through just my gear in this video, and I will show you guys his gear in a follow-up video. I'm going to take you guys through the gear that I've chosen to take with me on this attempt and give you a quick rundown of the gear that I've changed in lieu of previous gear from 2019. First and foremost, my LiteAF 40-liter curve. This is the non-suspension version, but I do have the full padded hip belt. I've decided to go with the large fanny pack this time. I did not do this last time. In lieu of the side pockets, the side pouches on the belt, because I am a rather large guy, those side pouches ended up being almost on my kidneys, and they weren't really good for me. They were hard to access. I think this is going to be much better. So starting with what's in the fanny pack, we've got generic sunglasses, Petzel Bindi headlamp. I've changed this from my black diamond full strap headlamp. It is rechargeable. That's actually why I changed it. I wanted to have all rechargeable stuff and not anything need battery changes. Got an outdoor research hat. This is the same hat that I took in 2019. I'm just not going to carry the neck gator thing that attaches to it, because I'm going to be wearing a sun hoodie this time, so I won't need that. I can throw the sun hoodie over it. LiteAF Dyneema wallet. Outdoor research sun gloves. Neck gator is generic, something off of Amazon. I don't even know what brand. This thing did come with me. It's a smart wool beanie. This came with me in 2019. It is the most incredibly warm little thin piece of nothing. I think it's merino wool. It's held up great, and it is crazy, crazy warm for what it is. A heavy hiker bandana. And it still has room, even with all that stuff in there, to store some snacks for the day. And then it has this front pouch for trash. And it even has, which I didn't notice until today, an inner pouch of Dyneema. So I guess I could stick my phone back in there or something, or maybe that's where I'll keep my snacks. I don't really know. We'll figure it out when I get out there. On the outside of the pack, I have traded my Z-seat for a much larger foam mattress. I can't remember what they call these things, the accordion sleeping pads. I cut off 4 sections of the sleeping pad, and I'm going to use it as a lay pad, sit pad, and if it gets super cold, I can throw it underneath my sleeping pad, and it'll help with some thermal property, or it will have some thermal property to help with the cold. I don't generally carry trekking poles. I'm not a big trekking pole fan. I'm a 270-pound guy with a 28-pound backpack fully loaded, so I just don't feel that it's necessary to carry them. I do, however, appreciate the fact that they are good for stream crossings, unstable terrain. It's nice to at least have one that I can pick up if I need, just in case I need that extra foot for stability. Plus, for the shelter I have chosen, which I'll show you here in a minute, it is a trekking pole style tent, so I'll be carrying one of these. My son will be carrying the other one of these. Most of the time they'll be on the pack, but if we need them, we have them, and they're for our tent. Starting in the desert, probably going to get quite sunny and hot at some point. We are starting quite early, but at some point it is going to get sunny. I did find last time that even though it was nice and cool, I got burned to shit on the back of my legs. So sun is still no joke, even if the weather is nice. So I've got this 6 moon design, almost nothing when it comes to weight, sun umbrella. That's going to be really nice to have. Here's another change I've made this year. I had this Sawyer Squeeze Micro, or Sawyer Micro Squeeze, whatever they call that, and a Nock Vecto 2-liter. Buddy of mine has actually influenced a lot of my gear changes for this one. He hiked the PCT in 2020, and he's given me a lot of rundown of what worked for him and what didn't work for him. And this Platypus, I can't remember what they call this, something straw. I'll give you a shot of it here. QuckDraw, maybe. It came with a 1-liter bladder. My son will also be carrying a 1-liter bladder for extra storage in the desert if we see that we need it. What I don't have with me right now is we are each going to carry 2 1.5-liter smart water bottles in our pouches, and then 1 700 milliliter on a shoulder strap bucket. And the last thing in the outside here is my entire shelter. This is a Durston X-Mid 2P version 2. I just picked this up last month. I saw that it was in stock, had to grab it. I've wanted one for a long time. I originally was going to go with the Big Agnes Copper Spur UL3 because the UL2 Tiger Wall that I had did not fit my sleeping pad and my son's sleeping pad side by side because of the tapered foot box. So I got that big thing and was totally going to be totally happy to carry it. But then this thing popped up and was in stock, and I just had to have it. So it fits in a little Dyneema sack. It would fit in its own too, but this is a little bit bigger so I can smush it down. So I got me a Dyneema sack that I could shove it down in here. And the reason I want to keep it all on the outside is because that means I can set up my tent without opening any part of my pack, so everything in my pack stays dry. And same if I wake up in the morning and it's raining, I can pack my entire kit before getting out of my tent, and then I can just take the tent down and everything stays dry. So that's why I have that on the outside of my pack right here. In my 2019 attempt, I had a Z-Packs duplex. There's a video on my channel here to explain why I went away from the duplex. Perfectly fine tent, just didn't work for me. I think this thing is going to be absolutely phenomenal. It answers all the problems I had with the duplex, plus has all of its benefits. So I think it's going to be the best of both worlds. On the bottom of the pack, there's a pouch for my rain poncho. It's a Sea to Summit rain poncho. I've got it on the bottom of the pouch so that I can just reach around from the back, grab it and pull it out. When it starts to lightly rain, I can just throw it over myself and not have to stop moving. Forgot one. Poop kit will also be on the outside. Before I get onto the inside of the pack, I do want to show that I did make a slight modification, my wife and I. The 40-liter curve does not come with the ability to strap the top down on the sides like this. Some of the smaller packs do. I just mimicked the exact same design from that because when I don't have a lot, actually all my gear's in here, but when I'm not loaded heavily down, I like them to fold over this way, but then when I do pack it all the way up with crazy amount of food, I like to roll it up on top, so you can still do both with this one. This is how it originally comes. Moving on to the inside of the pack. First is my bear bag. This is a LiteAF bear bag. They no longer offer these. Luckily, Chris was awesome enough to send me one that he had laying around. This one's actually going to be for my son because he insisted on having the LiteAF one over my Z-Packs one, so he gets to actually carry this one. And inside it is my rucksack and throw line kit and the replacement for the PCT stick that I made. If you're curious what the PCT stick is, there's a video on my channel that shows you how to use it. A new addition to the kit, I did not have I guess what you call a mid layer, because I'm a very large man and I heat up quick when I'm moving. So I just didn't feel the need to have any kind of mid layer, at least starting in the desert. Don't bash me too hard. I didn't make it to the Seirus, so I don't know if I would have needed one there. We'll find out. But I went with a Paka brand alpaca hoodie. It's a little heavy, but man, it is comfortable as hell. And I will use this in replacement of my rain jacket. I still have my rain jacket in here, but instead of using it for the cold, like I had my regular active shirt and then I had the rain jacket, that made me a little sweaty, hoping this will kind of cut down on that. So I did add this to the kit. Didn't replace anything, just straight up added this one. I still have my anti-gravity gear rain pants. I use these for both when it is in heavy rain and just for cold winds. This is great for blocking cold wind. The same Seirus gloves I took last time, all-weather gloves. They are, I would say they're probably more for 3-season, maybe a little bit of harsh winter, but not harsh winter, and they are water resistant, so that's nice. Still have the Outdoor Research Helium 2 jacket. I'll use this mostly for really cold wind on top of my warm layers. This is my cook kit. I still have a Toaks. This is just a 700 milliliter. I gave my son my other one, which was either 550 or 600, I can't remember. I did decide to go with a little bit larger one this time in case I have to make more food for the both of us. Inside my pot is my stove. I did trade out my MSR Pocket Rocket 2, which I carried last time, for a Soto Amicus stove. The reason I went with this one is it has 4 stability points and a larger dome-shaped burner head. The reason I wanted the larger burner head is this time I am not going to have the same problem I had last time where I wasn't eating. We are going to take some more real food this time instead of just freeze-dried and sugary junk. And I did get me a small, I think it's an 8-inch jet boil frying pan. My son will be carrying that because his kit only weighs like 5.5 pounds, so he gets that 7-ounce piece. But that's why I wanted the bigger burner head. My son will actually still be carrying the MSR Pocket Rocket too. This is not the lighter I'll be carrying, but a lighter will be in there. And then it fits the gas. On my last attempt, I had a little folding spork that fit inside there. I traded that for a just generic brand long-handled spork. I think it's titanium, not really sure. It's light. Reason I decided to go with this, I don't normally eat the meals that come, the freeze-dried meals that come in the deep bags, like the Mountain House meals and stuff, but I figure why limit myself, so I did get this one just in case we pick up some of those. For my Puffy, I still have my Enlightened Equipment Apex Torrid. This thing was crazy warm. I don't hike in this because, like I said, I'm a big guy. I get really hot when I hike if I wear too much clothing. So this is really just for the really cold nights, for the added warmth added to my quilt setup. And also it has a hood. Since I do have a quilt, I don't have a hood, so this comes in handy there. Generic pack towel. It's in an REI package, but this is not the REI one. There's a small one in here for cleaning our cookware or cook kits. And then there's a medium-sized one in here for cleaning ourselves. So I don't like to hike in pants for the same reason I've already said multiple times in this video. So I have these instead. They're Columbia and Montrail leggings, I guess. And they'll go up underneath my shorts if I feel the need to have a little extra warmth while I'm hiking. Next is my biggest change to my sleep system right here. I think this is going to make all the difference to having not slept last time I was on the trail. I was sleeping like hell. I originally had the Thermarest X Lite for the same reason probably everybody else had it, but I'm a very large guy. Again, I have 21-inch shoulders. The pads are 20 inches wide. I did end up going with the large 25, but even still, with the tapered design, I just felt like I was doing this all night and holding my arms up, and my mind just wouldn't let my body roll. So I would end up waking up every 30 minutes to roll, and it was just, it was a little insane. So I went with a big boy pad. I have a big Agnes Ultra Air Core. It's an insulated 4-season pad. It's really not much heavier. I think it's like 4 ounces heavier than my X Lite was. Don't quote me on that. I might be wrong on that, but it's not much heavier. It's definitely worth it, and it's a 25 by 72. I'm 6 foot tall, so this is absolutely perfect. It is also a rectangle. It is not a tapered design, and when I was testing this thing out with my quilt, I actually fell asleep on it. So I feel like it's probably going to be a lot better for me personally. Inside here is also my Sea to Summit pillow, and I am going to carry a electric pump. It's a pump and a light. It weighs like 3 ounces. It's got about 14 pumps out of it so far, and it's rechargeable. So definitely going to take that. If you're sleeping near me, I apologize for the crazy mosquito right before you fall asleep. It's going to be me. The pillow is also changed. I had the Trekology pillow. It worked great, but when I went to go test it a couple months ago, it had leaked the seams after having sat around for a couple years. So I upgraded to the Sea to Summit, whatever this one is called. It's like felt feeling. It's pretty good. Ben's bug net. So small and light, I'm just gonna carry it the whole time. First aid kit, generic stuff, band-aids, some thread, needles. I think I had nail clippers in there, my toothbrush, toothpaste, and some patch kits for inflatable stuff, and Dyneema and Ultra. The electronics pouch is quite a bit smaller than it was last time because I do not plan on doing 2 videos a week. I have been asked to please do videos this time like I did last time, so I'll do a few, but I'm not going to do a whole hell of a lot. I think I'm just going to take the videos I want to take, and if I get into a town and I have time, I will make a video and throw it up. But other than that, I'm not going to have a scheduled video set like I did last time, so the electronics kit is much, much smaller this time. There's a multi-cable that has the 3 different charging points that I need, ports I need for my Garmin, my iPhone, and my other rechargeable stuff. Anchor quick charger, 2 USB port, and an Anchor 1200 milliamp hour battery pack. It's like half the size of my last one. And for the final piece of kit, this is a Sea to Summit waterproof compression sack. It has my Enlightened Equipment 20 degree quilt in here, and it also has my, which has been modified to work with the Zenbivy fast sheet, so the fast sheet is in here as well. And then it has my silk thermals, my town shirt, and my sleeping socks, which I'm actually going to trade out for the Apex Torrid little booties. I actually have already ordered them, they just haven't gotten here yet. So that's everything that's stuffed in here. Yes, it's also worth noting that I do have a Nyoflume pack liner. I asked Chris, the owner of LiteAF, if he thought I should have one with this pack because they are waterproof and fully seam sealed, but he said for a through hike, definitely recommend them. They're like $2.50 and peace of mind is awesome, right? So Nyoflume inside the pack. Well, that's about it, guys. I've pared down a lot since my first attempt because I just didn't pack the things I didn't use. Don't need a lot of electronics this time, so I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of that. I did change a lot of stuff to try to help my sleep and help my food intake so that I'll actually be energized, rested, and ready to take on this challenge. So if you guys have any questions about my gear, please feel free to leave a comment down below. And if you are interested in following along me and my son on the PCT this year, please feel free to hit the subscribe button and follow along. Until next time.